Hi guys, this is Juno and welcome back to another account review in Summoner's War. Today we have a special account, Radical01. This account was one of the first few accounts I did an account review on, and he's back. I remember him because his name was pretty unique, and like I said, he was one of the few account owners that got an account review. At that time, he was an F3 player. I think a few months has passed, like 6 to 12 months has passed, and it looks like he got some shiny toys. Look at that, the Gelnir, the Lydia. Let's see where his account is now. Hey guys, before we start the video, if you guys are interested in getting advice and help from me and other Summoners War players, feel free to join my Discord, where the link is in the descriptions below. Also, if you enjoy my content and want to support me, become a Patreon, where the link for it is also in the descriptions. I want to say I appreciate all the support, and believe me, I really do. Anyways, that was it. Let's get back to the video. So if you check out the record, he's in C3 regular arena. Before, he wanted to get that gold star, right? He was a F3 player, and I told him at that time that now with the improvement, he should be able to get a C1, C2 record easily. His account held up to that because he has reached C3. And now I'm pretty sure he wants to reach G1 or NG1. I don't know what his progress looks like, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. I'm pretty sure last time I worked on his account, it wasn't just a review, it was also an account improvement with this AD and AO. Reading back on the messages I talked with him. We don't have to look at the dungeons, he's doing everything. He doesn't have like a specific fast team. He's using a dot team for dragons, interesting. He's using a pretty standard team for GB12, and for MB12 he's using 2 Rauks. Okay, so let's take a look at his monster box, because he wants to get some help with RTA, arena defense, offense, and also some siege, if I do have the time for that. Pretty big box. He has the Leo, he has the Tiana, so the 2 main units that you need for a good AO. He has the Cardinal, so a primary unit for a tanky AD, and also the Samath, a primary unit for a fast AD. He has a lot of water nat 5 that I see here. He has a lot of fire as well, not too shabby. And then finally in the wind department, yes, he also has a Triton, but I don't see any good damage dealers, right? AoE damage dealers like the Peng Bag, the Chung Peng. So it looks like he is lacking those unless they're out here. No. So if he does go with the second turn team, I will probably use a Linda cleave, or I'll use the Lydia second turn cleave. If you don't want to use it for an AD unit, you can rune her specifically for a second turn AO unit, and due to the fact that you're going second turn, hoping that you take enough damage, skill 2 from this bad girl hits really hard. This will do kind of less damage because it does damage based on the enemy's attack speed, and if you take in a Leo, everybody's Leo speed. So there's that, but I still think it'll do pretty good damage. You have the Sierra, you have the Libli, if I've seen correctly. No, I'm dreaming. So oh, there's a Sierra, yeah. So you could go a bomber team, a bomber AO, if you have like a Joel gun, which you don't, but you probably could build it Aquila pretty easily, and then create a bomb team as well, or you could just use the Tiana Bastet with the double bombers. Let's take a look at the runes. So Swift, Speed, 23 with no grind. Just for the grind, I might run this ancient dungeon, because this could be 29, and even 28 is an extremely fast rune, knowing that the second fastest is only a 22 rune. 24 on slot 3, nothing crazy. 23 again, 25, 24, and then a 23. I don't know what you got for your event rune, but Swift wouldn't have been too bad, seeing that your fastest slot 4 is a 23 and your fastest slot 6 is a 23. Let's take a look at Violent. 21, okay, so maybe your Violent rune would have been a better choice. 24, 20, 25, 25. Okay, so slot 6 and slot 5 look pretty good, while as the other slots look pretty weak. So slot 4 Violent rune would have been a great choice as well. Will runes 25, cool. 23, 21, 27, Great Will Rune right there. 21 on slot 5. And 27 on slot 6. Yeah, definitely the Violent Rune slot 4 would have been a good choice. And for the other one, I think Swift or Will, depending on what you want more. I'm not looking at your slot 2 speeds because it just takes too much work. But this is an awesome rune. Why aren't you grinding this? I would have slapped that +4 right there. 28 speed attack percentage. Great cocky rune for sure. Or a Momo rune. But yeah, I think your runes overall, strength wise, it looks like Swift and Violent look pretty much the same, and Will looks the strongest, but there are slots that are still slower compared to the other slots, or they're equal to the weaker sets like the Violent runes or the Swift runes. I think you had a very few 27s, maybe like 1 or 2 27s at all, and then a couple 25s. I would still grind to get a faster Swift set and also more efficient Violent sets. I don't know if you're a Violent farmer. I assume that everybody is, but I think you could work on these to be more efficient, and also raid will be a big plus because it looks like there are still a lot of runes that are missing grinds. Let's go to the arena. So yeah, knowing that you have Gelnir, I think this is very smart. Also with the Lydia, I think this is a pretty good defense. 20% win rate, so I'm assuming it's because somebody or most of these are not on 100 res. Let's look at the Gelnir, because this should 100% be on 100 res. Yeah, 92, and it's also not extremely tanky. So I would fix this and give it better runes. I would get these grinds. This is what I meant, that raid is a good option since you have these units with these runes that are not grinded or not even fully powered up. This is not right. If you're using a unit in arena defense, I would make sure that it has runes that are all powered up. So please work on that. Let's look at the Lydia. Okay, Lydia doesn't have to be on 100 resistance. It's not bad to be on 100 resistance since she can get reset, which sucks. Like a Zeros team could come into this without an issue. Double Nemesis Will is the way I would go. She is pretty tanky. It looks like she's gonna hit pretty hard, so I'm not gonna say much here. I don't have a Lydia. I don't know her extent, what she could do, so I'm gonna say it's okay for now. This should be almost 100 resistance. It looks like it is, but not on Despair. Revenge is on Will, Broken. Overall, still not super tanky. It's not fully scaled up. If not, I wouldn't use it in defense. I would rather put in like a Nabilio or a second healer if you do have something like that. So Vigor could be a good option. Annabelle could be a good option on Double Nemesis Will. Riley could be a good option because Riley would give the Gelnir more stacks and you want that. Best thing would be the Belio though. It looks like you don't have him, so I would put the Riley on 100 res and stick it here. And if you make Riley's tanky enough too, people shouldn't even come with the Lucian team because it does have a Cardinal and the Lydia. But yeah, what I'm saying is that if you have the Riley, it will benefit your Gelnir. It will overall make your defense much tanky and more of a stall defense overall. Cardinal, not that tanky and not that fast. I wouldn't focus on 92 accuracy. I would give it like 50% and focus everything on HP and speed. If I had to pick a defense, I would use the Gelnir, Cardinal, Lydia, what you had, but the last slot I would put in a Riley instead to benefit your entire team. If you're going a fast one, obviously, you would go with the Samath, which is not fully scaled up. I guess you pulled him recently, but Samath, Triton, Samath, Clara. Seeing your Swift runes, I would just go with that tanky defense. I think that is the best one, and Gelnir, Lydia together itself should be scary enough, and giving it that HP lead is really pressuring for arena offenses to come in. Yes, it's weak against like Lia's, the Light Chun-Li, but if the Light Chun-Li comes into this, it'll kill herself with the Lydia, right? Because it does reflect damage. But here at the end, I would put this right here to make it an overall tankier, safer, and assuming that this Riley is fast enough where it could take a turn first before the Lydia moves, then you have an attack buff Lydia skill 2 coming in. So that's what I'll do. Before I go on, let's take a look at the towers. Wow, I'm gonna tell you're not gonna get G1 without starting on these. I'm actually surprised you got C3. And it was probably because you were carried by your units. And when I talked to you last time, when I fixed your defense, you got a 41% defense rate, which is crazy. So assuming that you get your towers done, just imagine what your defense could do then. But right now you're missing so much damage. Not a whole lot of speed, but a good amount of speed, more damage, tankiness, right? The HP percent, defense percent. Wow, it went all good. The review was all good till now, and then I see this. I'm pretty sure I told you to focus on your arena towers, but it looks like you didn't even touch them, because this is really slow progress in my opinion. How much crystals do you have? 34. Maybe you don't play much. Let's look at arena offense. You have a fast Linda team. Interesting. Seeing your towers, you're not going to be tanky enough to, well, you could be tanky enough to do a second turn team, but you'll have to give them a lot better runes. I will kill the crit damage. Just take off the crit damage build. Yeah, overall I think this is really weak offense. Really weak offense here too. All super weak offenses, with this being probably the one cleave that might work. Also, it looks like it's not a BGR 5 Bale. It might be, but that's really high crit rate for one. Lucian not on 100 crit rate. I doubt that you're bringing in this offense many times because it's bound to fail. It's just too risky. But that being so slow. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna even fail to this offense that you have your defense that you have right now. But overall, you're just missing so much damage from your towers. It's not beneficial to talk about your AD too much and your AO too much. AD, just put in the fake defense. Just forget about doing this. Just forget about it. You got C3. I think you should be happy with that. And then work on your towers until they're done. If I do give you a recommendation for AO, the Lucian team is probably the more basic one. And I'm kind of surprised you have the Leo and you watch my videos, but you don't have a Leo second turn team. So you could use Amelia for now instead of the Delphoid. But there's no heal, just remember that. So that could cause you the game. This would be a defense that you could, an offense that you could work on, or you could switch this out for the Lydia and work it this way as well. So I think I'll make a second turn team because you are somewhat running a first turn team that's not really that fast. If anything, I will make a much faster team with the Tiana. And it looks like your Tiana does have a better Swift set too. Something like this. Even this would be a lot better than the Lucian team that I see right now. Okay, let's look at RTA. RTA, you're in C1. Wow, with your tower, you're C1. That tells something, right? So it tells me that your rune quality is not that bad, but it's sad to see that you could do so much more if your towers were there. So get working on your towers. That's the first thing I'll do. The type of team you're running, let's take a look. I guess you just reached C1. Okay, with the Douglas, Verd, okay, not that bad. I like how you're taking in Verd Leos. Okay. Mostly going a second turn team without people knowing. It looks like you're picking out Sierra first. Way too big of a box knowing your rune quality. What is this child going to do? He's not even skilled up. It's garbage. First of all, take out everything that's not fully skilled up. Well, this could do something, but like this too. This is pretty big. Not getting a cool time turn -1 here. And not a lot of crit rate. I'll just give it a crit rate build if you can't get the crit rate. Miles, no skill ups, still a whole lot to go. Remove it. So take this out, take that out. Fully skill up your Verd, come on. That should be like the simplest thing. Don't use the Juno because it's not fully skilled up. Antares, man, fully skilled up the Montares. For the Nav 5s for sure, like don't use it if they're not skilled up. Daphne's okay. Masha, okay. Douglas, wow, you're working with a non-skilled Douglas. I can already see the stress in that. Okay, you're using the Ken. Carnal. But you know what I mean. Your box is way too big. And you have a lot of these units that are not fully skilled up. Unless their skills don't need the skill ups for it to really perform, I would not even touch these units that don't have skill ups. Like for example, when I say they perform without skill ups, it's like this Mephisto or this Tiana, right? The Tiana strip chance is always there, And also Mephistos is really there for the passive. But other than that, I would get rid of everything else. You could run a lot of teams, but seeing your rune quality, I will go a second turn team centered around the Riley. I always advocate that. If you don't have the fast rune set, you have to opt for second turn because you could focus on so much more. You're going to already lose in speed, but you sacrifice so many stats for speed. And if you lose in speed by doing that, then you're just losing the match. You're not coming back. However, second turn teams, it's different. If you are tanky enough, if you get a lucky proc, you can come back into the game. And overall, because it is slower, you could focus on more stats like HP, attack, defense, crit rate, crit damage, that. So like Riley, Masha would be a good first pick. I think Masha is a good first pick. And then if you want to go with control, you have to go with AoE strippers. And I don't like going with Triton if you're not contesting speed. So I really wish you had another AoE stripper. But it looks like you currently have none other than the Triton. You have single target strippers such as the Shihao, which I like. Barbara, but it's not scaled up. Miles, not scaled up. Juno, not scaled up. So you have all these units that are single target strippers but not scaled up. So decide on what to scale up. Yeah, but second turn team is the way to go. And if that's the case, I'll take out Barbara, Poseidon, Triton, Tiana. That's a start. And then start trimming out more with the units that are not scaled up. I think Fran is used a lot less these days. Gelnir is really good. So even Gelnir as the last pick, if you're picking out Riley, is an awesome pick since you get all the stacks all the time. So just solidify your first pick. I think your first pick should be the Riley if you are going second turn. Or the Masha, since she's just so good right now. Because there's so many Olivers, I think Masha is a good counter to that. So Masha is a good first pick as well. But other than that, if you want to go speed, I guess Sierra first pick is the best choice here because you don't have Oliver. And yeah, that's primarily it. You don't have Oliver. Unless you could play some kind of Tableau Cleave, but do you have the Jameer? Tableau Cleave doesn't really work if your swift sets aren't fast. And seeing your swift sets, it looks like your limit is probably C1, C2. Seeing your tower, C1 at best, really. Okay, let's quickly take a look at Siege and see how he's doing. He's in G1 Siege, right? Okay. With your rune quality, but with your towers, maybe have one or two defenses that's doing really well. But none of these defenses are doing really well. So let me point out some things that might be wrong. Let's take a look at that Sierra, Orion, Perna defense. In G1, this type of defense gets a lot of wins. At least half, or you have a 20-22 win rate. So your win rate is slightly lower. But if it's runed really well, these kind of defenses gets a lot of wins in G1. But let's take a look at the runes. Not bad, but where is your accuracy? Like this has to have like 30 plus accuracy for this to work. 19, so it's 30%. Way too low. I would strive for like 50% minimum. But I do like how you got the speed. The speed is pretty good. Yeah, but I would kill like some HP for more accuracy because that's really important. What's the point of Orion not stripping and stunning and defense breaking? It's not doing its job. Yes, it'll give you the boost, but again, if Sierra doesn't get a strip, she's not gonna land a bomb. Let's take a look at the Perna because I like Orion than Perna going since she could act like a second stripper. So let's take a look at this. 100, not bad, but it's on Blade, not Violent Will. So I don't know why you wouldn't give her will runes, but will runes should be a plus. Finding the Sierra, not bad Sierra to be honest. That's a really nice Sierra with low crit rate. Okay, it was a nice Sierra until I started crit rate. Go with the slot 4 crit rate and try to retain this speed with close to 100 crit rate. And then also make the Perna faster than the Sierra. And give it a little higher crit rate as well. Ever since the crit rate bug fix, units like Perna, units that hit hard, really need the crit rate. I felt that. So I hope you do that as well. So that's one. What's another one? This one, easy fix, switches to a Triana. It's a little slow. Yeah, it's really slow. So this is gonna just get destroyed by like Mina Stella Megans. So I would focus more runes on these people, on these units. You have too many towers. You have too many defenses. I would just make one nat 5 or two nat 5 defenses and one or two nat 4 defenses, and that's it. this is way too many, and it proves that they're not working. But if I did have to make you 2 defenses, I don't know why you're not using the Triana here when you do have the Triana just sitting around. Either this if you can't get the tankiness, or either this if there's only super tanky with no attack. So that's one. You will do this one. This one should also be getting wins, but it looks like the Kaki is way too slow, and also the Claw is way too slow, meaning you're not going to use this defense. For Nat 5 this works. For this Nat 5 this works as well. Again, being too slow. So if you guys have a stacked tower of these, I will make this a violent one so it throws them off, because sometimes they don't even come to outspeed. But this is an easy clear with a Tiana, so if they have Tianas left over, it'll just be free. Violent, so that's an issue. I see why these are losing. They're not on the optimal builds. Their sets are pretty bad. I don't know what you're focusing on, but if it's Arena, stop. Arena is not your focus. The only thing that you have to focus on Arena is to get your towers done. And then I would actually just make your siege defenses your priority and contribute to the guild. Get better siege results, get better rewards, get more crystals, get more guild points, and improve from there. That was it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If there's anything else that you guys would like to see in Summoners War, please put a comment below. Overall, I am pretty disappointed on this account. Yes, it got a better record. It's in C3. Congrats to you. However, I have to say I'm surprised because your towers are extremely lackluster. And knowing that I worked on this account before, it's been months since I worked on it. Let's see, the last time I talked to you was last year, August. And your towers still looking like this is a great disappointment. Get working on that. I think you should just work on that. And after that, you will actually strive for more improvement. But that was it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.